Your Royal Highness, you're looking for foreign investments, and so is the Public Investment Fund, Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund.
Yeah.
Doesn't that put you in competition?
Oh, for sure not. Actually, since I left, we are now in touch with the government to be involved in many of their projects. For example, they have a big project in the Red Sea where they're going to have Maldives-type resorts. Actually, Four Seasons was invited to be there. We are also invited to be in the other project in Riyadh, whereby you're going to have a huge entertainment center. You know, it's Disney type. So because we are involved in hotels, we're involved in media and entertainment, so we're invited. So no at all, no competition. We complement each other. You know, we see right now the Vision Fund that is with Mr. Sun of Japan, and we are very much investors in many companies. You know, JD.com in China, with Lyft in America, Twitter in America, and Careem in the Middle East, and right now. To confirm to you that we are in the discussion right now with certain companies in the United States for certain deals. So no, we are not in competition. We complement each other.
Can you tell me more about these negotiations over deals that you're...
I hope we can do it very soon. But you know, we are under secrecies and we are confidential agreements. I cannot tell you. But we are negotiating right now certain deals now with certain companies in the United States.
If you choose, or if you become involved with this resort in the Red Sea or the entertainment complex that's being built in Riyadh, this will be by choice, or this is part of your ongoing relationship?
You're very smart, Erik. No, this has nothing to do with any conditions. We do it because actually we're invited to the Four Seasons to invest in the Four Seasons in the Red Sea even before the detention. But right now we are just continuing our discussion. No, we do it because it helps shareholders of Kingdom Holding. It helps IRR and ROI, return investment and IRR.
What about co-investment? Will the Public Investment Fund and Kingdom Holding, or perhaps Rotana, or perhaps Prince Alwaleed in his personal account invest together?
Very good question. Yes, and this will happen. We are in discussion right now with PIF on certain projects to be so we can co-invest in certain projects.
Yes. Domestic projects or international ventures?
No, we are talking domestically first to begin with. Honestly speaking, the discussion right now is on domestic in the domestic arena.
What kinds of investments might those be?
Well, I told you it's like the Four Seasons in the Red Sea and the entertainment.
So those things, nothing beyond that at the moment.
No. But we are in talk to them right now. We are in talk with the PIF and the government about investments, joint investments together. Now, and still not developed yet. And I can't dwell into that because there's nothing fruitful, nothing final yet. But we're in discussion with the government. Yes.
You have the deepest, longest and most successful track record as a foreign investor of any Saudi, I'd have to believe. Will there be an opportunity for Kingdom Holding or Prince Alwaleed and the PIF to co-invest abroad?
Well, sure. I mean, we are always open for discussion for investments. You know, most of our investments, if not all our investments, are with partners. Like, for example, I just mentioned to you the Four Seasons in the brand in Canada. We own it jointly with Bill Gates. And that's, you know, the biggest hotel brand and the most luxurious 7-star brand in the world. So yes, most of our investments are based on co-investments. So we welcome the investment PIF. And right now we are in discussion with PIF for certain investments, you know, locally.
Will you invest in Neom, the futuristic city that Prince Mohammed wants to build in the north?
Yeah, you know, now Neom is still in the design phase.
Yes.
And the government now is going to build the infrastructure. Once it's going to take 1 to 2, 3 years, and obviously then they will propose to the local community the business opportunities for sure. And we are, you know, we are open, we are investors, and remember, in the last year, Kingdom Holding was the biggest investor locally. We invested $1.6 billion in the Saudi French bank. We bought a stake from Crédit Agricole in France, 16%, around $1.6 billion, and we injected around 4 billion riyal in the local community, be it in the highest rise tower in Jeddah and other projects. So we invested $3 billion last year in locally here in Saudi Arabia.
And that will continue?
That will continue. Will continue for sure.
We reported, and Kingdom Holding confirmed, that your company is seeking to raise something in the order of $1 billion in debt. What are you going to use it for?
Yeah, Kingdom now is raising between $1 to $2 billion of debt, because we do have some cash, obviously, at Kingdom Holding, but we are now looking for a second deal for us, Kingdom Holding. Yes, last year, we did few big deals. And this year, 2018, although the market right now in the United States, we see it just, really is somehow, I will not say overvalued, but the prices are not where we wish them to be. But we would like to get some firepower ready for us. And yes, I think we are on the verge of getting the $1 to $2 billion financing facilities ready.
So you're thinking about a deal of what size?
Oh, I mean, we're willing to do any deal between $1 to $3 billion.
And in what industry?
Well, look, we are a holding company, and we are in 13 industries, correct? We're open. We are open. We're open.
Now, I have heard that you're working with Goldman Sachs.
Yes. Yes, the Goldman Sachs actually, and I thank Mr. Blankfein personally for his support in the previous deal that we did, $1.6 billion to buy this Crédit Agricole stake in their Saudi French bank. And right now we are working through them and others also to find and locate some other deals for Kingdom Holding, whether it's in the region, whether it's Saudi national region or internationally.
Would you consider ever restructuring Kingdom Holding to make it a little bit easier for people outside Saudi Arabia to understand? In other words, taking perhaps the domestic projects and the domestic real estate and turning it into a REIT, and then the other investments that you have remain, say, in the Kingdom Holding structure?
You are not only an astute reporter, you're an astute businessman also. That's exactly what our CEO is doing. CEO of Kingdom Holding right now is thinking of really divesting the local part of Saudi Kingdom Holding, which is into a REIT possibly. And we're going to be in it in real estate, we're going to be the tower, and all our local holdings. So it is ongoing, and we are having an ongoing discussion right now on that particular situation. Yes.
Would you say that's the plan? That's what's likely to happen?
It is the current plan, yes.
How long will that take?
I don't know. It's going to take some time because we're still developing that matter. But our CEO is really thinking in these terms, yes.
And what percentage of Kingdom Holdings assets do you figure would end up in the REIT?
Very close to, almost half-half.
Half-half?
I would say almost, roughly.
So the other investments in hotels, for
Yes.
example,
Yes.
the investments
Yes.
in media, for
Yes.
example, the investments
Correct.
in financial services, that would remain inside Kingdom Holding?
Yes, correct.